Aizawa Tsukasa. Role: Leader/Command Type Balanced Fighter. Style: Adaptive Warrior using Sentai Suit, Group Tactics, Countermeasures. Traits: Sentai Commander Form enhances physical stats, reflexes, and durability, especially against magic. Multi-phase sword style: Blade can switch between stun mode, energy slash, and anti-magic mode. Battlefield coordination: can analyze battle flow and adjust strategy on the fly, even against chaotic or superior opponents. Support buff module: generates temporary shields, speed boosts, or targeting marks. Impressive morale focus: Tsukasa fights best when protecting others, gains small power surges when defending comrades. Feats: held his own against dragons while commanding a team under pressure. Outwitted an elite necromancer using terrain and chain stun tactics. Took a blow from a berserker ogre that shattered stone and stood back up. Admiral. Role: one-man army, former naval superweapon user. Style: full frontal kinetic and naval magic assault, tide of war embodiment. Traits: kinetic pulse control, can redirect force, impact, velocity, and release it explosively. Wave armor, physical damage is reduced drastically, explosive damage gets absorbed and converted into power. Tidal domain, battlefield-wide area of effect magic all within his radius field, gravitational warping like being underwater. Anchor breaker spear, giant kinetic spear that stores momentum to fire like a railgun. Naval strategy mind, can predict movement in large-scale combat with military logic. Feats: sank an air fortress by hurling his spear through 17 support towers. Crushed a mountain slope using a redirected enemy bombardment. Survived being buried under magma using a force absorption shield. Fight analysis. Tactics and leadership. Tsukasa excels at tactical movement, teamwork, and adjustment. Admiral relies more on overwhelming presence and battlefield momentum. Edge: Tsukasa in micro-tactics, but Admiral in macro-dominance. Environment control. Admiral creates tidal distortions that disrupt footing, visibility, and projectile aim. Tsukasa can adapt, but constant pressure weakens his coordination effects. Edge: Admiral. Raw power. Tsukasa has good scaling but still works in a Sentai leader context. Admiral punches holes in cities with his anchor breaker and pressure bursts. Massive edge: Admiral. Durability and adaptability. Tsukasa can tank heavy hits for a while but relies on agile defense and regen boosts. Admiral has brutal defense scaling, blunt force and magic do little unless extremely high tier. Edge: Admiral. Battlefield outcome. Tsukasa will dodge, adapt, and land critical counter hits. Attempt to pierce the Admiral's armor with anti-magic mode. Try stalling long enough to outthink him. Admiral will create pressure zones and warping fields. Absorb Tsukasa's kinetic output and reflect it with 10x force. Use anchor breaker for map-wide pierce strikes. Scenario estimates. Scenario 1, wide open field, no cover. Tsukasa gets overwhelmed. Tidal domain destabilizes footing. Anchor breaker lands a fatal hit once Tsukasa is caught mid-buff. Admiral wins, 85%. Scenario 2, urban terrain/tactical environment. Tsukasa uses walls, shadows, cover, and vertical movement. Slows Admiral down, gets in some critical slashes. Still loses if Admiral lands a full force pulse. Admiral wins, 70%. Scenario 3, with team, full Sentai formation. If Tsukasa has even one ally, his team strategy activates fully. Buffs, flank attacks, and synchronized strikes can overwhelm Admiral's slower casting. Tsukasa team wins, 65%. Overall win rate, 1v1 only. Admiral 78%. Aizawa Tsukasa 22%. Verdict: Admiral wins in solo engagement. Aizawa Tsukasa is an excellent leader, versatile fighter, and tactician, but the Admiral is a catastrophe-level brawler with force control that overwhelms precision. In a one-on-one with no prep, Tsukasa gets cornered and outmatched, despite his adaptability. However, if team mechanics are allowed Sentai-style teamwork, flank buffs, or combo strikes, Tsukasa could flip the odds dramatically.